Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ video here on NoDQ.com, the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I appreciate the viewership. Got your questions from twitter.com/AaronRift using the hashtag PAIV. So let's get started today with the first one, which comes from NoDQ Rules. And notice his username. That's how he gets his question answered first. Or so it seems. Yo Aaron, happy Rusev Day. He also says happy Rusev Day. If AJ Styles holds the belt until WrestleMania 34, ha ha ha, editorial note, can you see a Styles versus Cena final encounter for the WWE title? I love Nakamura, it's Shin by the way, but this match makes way more sense. You also said belt, but I'm not WWE, so I will not penalize you for that. I actually, in all seriousness, would be fine with AJ Styles versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Anything but Jinder Mahal competing for the WWE title, whether defending it or challenging for it. As long as it's not Jinder Mahal in the WWE title match, I'm pretty much fine with any opponent for AJ Styles. Nakamura, or Shin, as I like to call him, and same with Michael Cole. The thing about AJ Styles versus Shin is that we have not seen a one-on-one match between those guys at a major event in WWE like WrestleMania. They had their history in Japan, and I think it would be really cool for them to be able to go out there at WrestleMania and have the best match possible and give the fans a match people will never forget, which I think both of them are capable of doing. It's also fresh in WWE. I would like to see it because of the freshness. AJ Styles versus John Cena, they have not competed at WrestleMania, which in a way would make it fresh. I still think I would go with Shin and AJ Styles as my first choice, but if not Shin, then John Cena versus AJ Styles, the final match between the two of them at WrestleMania. As long as AJ gets the win in the end, I think I would be fine with it. But I just hope they would change things up with a match a bit and not do the same match they did at the Royal Rumble. Instead of doing near falls, maybe do crowd brawling or do something different with that match and just make it different. No holds barred. I don't know. Just change things up if they're going to do that match again. But I do think there's a decent chance of it happening. This one comes from Wrestling Fan 94. Could you see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens losing and returning as El Generico and Kevin Steen, or Daniel Bryan turning heel? I did talk about Daniel Bryan possibly turning heel on the live video and also with the NoDQ panel. I don't sense it's going to happen based off of SmackDown this week and the fact that it's being teased on television that Bryan will be the factor in Owens and Zayn winning, which makes me think there's going to be some other kind of swerve. Now, I don't see Owens and Zayn losing this match. Yeah, it would be cute to have Zayn come back as El Generico, but that should have been done weeks ago in that match where Zayn was barred from ringside. That was the time to bring back El Generico under the mask, and then Zayn could claim, hey, that's not me. I'm not El Generico. WWE missed the opportunity. I think it's over now. Yeah, WWE could do it, but how would you have Kevin Steen come back as, or Kevin Owens come back as Kevin Steen? I'm not sure how that works unless he's also under a mask. Maybe El Steen or something. I don't know, El Steeno. Maybe have him do the same kind of gimmick as El Generico. I guess you could do that, but I feel like the best opportunity has already passed WWE by. Got this one here from NoDQ Live moderator TJS. If you had to choose one scenario and eliminate the other from completely happening, would you rather have Daniel Bryan be medically cleared to wrestle in WWE or have CM Punk return? Tough question to answer. I think I will go with CM Punk returning. As much as I love Daniel Bryan and would like to see him happy and wrestle in WWE, I still don't know the science with what's going on in Daniel Bryan's brain. I don't know if him coming back is going to jeopardize his long-term health. So on that note alone, I'd choose CM Punk. And also, I feel Bryan wrestling again in WWE would be a big story, but I feel CM Punk coming back would be an even bigger story. CM Punk coming back, I think, would be huge. And I think that would be one of the biggest comebacks in WWE, even bigger than Daniel Bryan. So, of the two, I would lean towards CM Punk. This one comes from Kit. Happy Rusev Day, Aaron. How can you see Finn Balor getting his lost momentum back? From a lackluster feud with Wyatt to not being, quote, over in WWE, it just looks like Balor is another guy on the roster. Well, looks like he actually is just another guy on the roster now, unfortunately. He should be in the Universal title picture. He should have been there a long time ago. He still hasn't gotten that one-on-one match, and it makes his character look so bad that he doesn't take a stand. You know, let's pretend wrestling's real. The Finn Balor personality, he would want his match. He would go out there and he would demand it. If he's a main event superstar, the main event superstar isn't going to be passive and sit in the locker room and wait for an opportunity. He's going to go out there and take the opportunity. So the fact that Finn Balor's character is not doing that, I feel, in the storyline, makes his character look very weak. And I do feel it's hurting Balor in the long run. He should be out there demanding his shot and getting in the mix. And even if he doesn't win against Kane or Braun Strowman or any of these other guys, at least he's fighting for the chance rather than just, okay, well, they're not giving it to me, so I'm just going to go do something else, you know? That's not something Steve Austin would have done, or The Rock, or any of these great WWE superstars. They would fight for their opportunities and they would never give up. And it feels like the Balor character is just giving up. He's just being passive. So yeah, not a fan of the way WWE is booking Balor, and everyone can argue, well, you know, he doesn't look the part, he doesn't look like a main eventer, but at least end that story. At least let him be the underdog. Maybe he does lose the matches, but at least he goes out there and fights, you know, just like Jeff Hardy. You know, I think of Jeff Hardy versus Undertaker. Hardy just kept going. Even though he was the underdog, he kept fighting, and he got over more because of that. And I think Balor is over, but he could be over even more if WWE let him at least fight for these opportunities and fight for the championship. Got this one here from Walter. What is your favorite Royal Rumble match, and who would you like to see win the 2018 Rumble? My favorite was 92 when Ric Flair won. I would like to see Shin win 2018 or anyone new. I'm tired of repeat winners. Well, I think you pretty much just said what I was going to say. I mean, you answered it perfectly. 92 Rumble is my all-time favorite. I don't think anything will ever surpass that Royal Rumble. Everything from Flair's performance to Heenan and Monsoon on commentary, everything about that Rumble was great. You had all the big stars in that match. Hogan, Savage, Flair, Sid Justice, Roddy Piper, Jake Roberts, and the list goes on. I love that Royal Rumble match. One of my all-time favorites. Actually, my all-time favorite match. I mean, it's not even debatable. I'm not even sure what my number 2 favorite would be. That one is just so clearly number 1. Nothing else can really compare. Now, to answer the other part of your question, who should win the Rumble this coming year, 2018? Like I said in the beginning, I think my first choice for a WrestleMania WWE title match would be AJ Styles versus Shin. Shin would be my choice. If not Shin, then somebody who has not won the Rumble, as you put it. So again, you pretty much just said what I was going to say anyways. Got this one here from Steve-O. With the Mixed Match Challenge coming in January after SmackDown Live, do you think that this may be testing a replacement for 205 Live? I don't think so. I don't feel this show is being tested to possibly replace 205 Live. I feel like this show is just being done to test the waters with Facebook and build a relationship with Facebook and open the possibilities in WWE. You know, their NBC Universal deal expires in 2019, and WWE will want to look at different options for when that contract is up and have some negotiating power. So WWE is trying to build relationships with these streaming services and have these other options available in 2019 so they can get the best deal possible when it comes to television. Got this one here from Liam. Hey Aaron, in your opinion, what was the best heel run The Undertaker had? I thought his heel run in 2001, 2002 was the best his American Badass gimmick got, but I know he had a couple in the 90s too. I would say his best heel run was probably 1998 when he turned heel and became affiliated with his brother Kane against Steve Austin, the SummerSlam match. Even though he wasn't really a full-fledged heel, it felt like. I think by the time he did the Ministry of Darkness with Paul Bearer, I would say the 99 Undertaker, when he was full-blown into the Ministry of Darkness and, you know, abducting Stephanie. Where to, Stephanie? To me, that was the darkest Undertaker and the most disturbing Undertaker. So I would have to say that one. I mean, that was really dark. The problem with the American Badass heel Undertaker is that he was almost too cool, you know? He was going out there and you almost didn't want to boo the guy because he was just so badass, you know? He was the American Badass, so it was hard to boo the guy. But with the Ministry Undertaker, I felt like he was just good at being this creepy cult leader and you were just afraid of the guy, you know? And of course, the original Undertaker was great too. When he was just very mysterious and he didn't say much and Paul Bearer was there. It was very scary. So, you know, you can argue for all of them. Undertaker always did a great job as a heel, but I think I would go with Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. And let's move on here. This one comes from Broken iPad Manny AC. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Going good, my friend? Why does WWE schedule Raw house shows on Tuesdays? For example, December 26th at Madison Square Garden. It's all about the money. Seriously, that's what it is. This is the Christmas season, and traditionally, WWE draws really well for Christmas. People like to go out with their families and do something on the holidays. And Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, you might think, well, those are bad times to run shows, but actually they're not. People like to go out and spend money that maybe they got for Christmas, and they like to go out as a family and do something. So that's why WWE likes to book these shows, and in this case, it's booking on the day after Christmas, taking advantage of the holidays and knowing people want to go out and do stuff. And, you know, they're going to draw strong markets in both cities. You know, they're doing SmackDown Live in Chicago, and then they're going to be doing this Raw Live event at Madison Square Garden the same night. They're both going to draw really well, you know. The New York fans will be there for that, and, you know, WWE will make a lot of money from both shows and take advantage of the holiday season. So that's why they do it. And as far as doing house shows on Monday nights opposite Raw, like the SmackDown brand does shows, the idea is that SmackDown tours on the weekends, of course, as does the Raw brand, and then SmackDown has television on Tuesday. So Monday night, the idea is, well, let's just do a show on Monday nights because it makes sense. You already have everybody in the area going from one city to the next. There's no point in sending them all home and then having them fly out again for the Tuesday television show. So that's why SmackDown does the Monday night house shows. Even though they don't draw very well, it just makes sense. You have the crew, the trucks, the talent. You just go from one city to the next and run the show Monday and then go to the next city for SmackDown. This one comes from Matthew. Hey Aaron, do you think WWE's lackluster writing over the years has been due to the lack of competition? Without WCW, they rule the wrestling world. TNA and Ring of Honor pose no threat to them. Please answer in video. Thank you for your time. I feel like the lackluster writing is partly due to that, definitely. I think the idea is WWE doesn't have to take chances. Maybe there are some creative people there, but they're just not given the opportunity to do some creative stuff, you know? WWE has a formula, they have a format they follow every week, and WWE is playing it safe. I think that's the main factor with no competition. WWE doesn't have to take chances. They can play it safe. They can do what they know works and take minimal chances and just focus on selling their brand to the masses. selling t-shirts, selling the network, selling all this other stuff, and just do that and work on exposing their brand to everybody. And they're not gonna focus as much on, hey, let's try this, let's do some storyline. It might not connect with the audience, it might not make money, but let's try it. You know, that attitude, I feel, is gone now because of the fact that there is no competition. Before, when WCW was around, WWE had to think outside the box because they could not compete with WCW financially. WCW had Turner's money. WWE, the way for them to compete with WCW is they had to be more creative. So that's what they did. Now, there's really no need to be overly creative. So it's not that the writing is lackluster because they don't have the guys that have the talent. I mean, that's part of the problem, that you have too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people writing the show, and it's very overly scripted, but it comes down to WWE just playing it safe and not wanting to take chances. This one comes from Vinny Carr. Hey Aaron, happy Rusev Day. How would you book a Ty Dillinger heel turn? First thing I would do is get rid of the 10 chant. That would be the #1 thing you would need to do, in my opinion, to get him over as a heel, because chanting 10 is associated with somebody that's a babyface. You know, having the people chant for you is not going to help his efforts as a heel. I think what I would do is have him come out and do a worked shoot promo, have him rant on everybody, rant on WWE and complain, something like that. You know, fans don't like when people whine and complain all the time. So that's something I would do. You know, that's why Jason Jordan's getting booed so much, and WWE, I feel like, is taking advantage of that now by having him be overly whiny, because people don't like when somebody whines and cries and complains all the time. So that's something I would do with Ty Dillinger, just have him keep complaining and making excuses for why he's not on TV and why he's not getting opportunities, and I think that would naturally get fans to turn against him. So that's what I would do if I was going to turn Ty Dillinger heel. Got this one here from Mr. Yuck. Triple H recently mentioned stars moving down to NXT while calling up others. Please name 3 stars from Raw, SmackDown Live, and 205 to move down, and a few NXT stars who should be called up. I would not move up any NXT guys right now. I would wait a little bit. Like I said before, you have 5 new women, 5 new characters that have debuted on WWE television. Focus on building them up right now. As far as sending people back down to NXT, I just mentioned them earlier. Maybe Ty Dillinger. Looking at some of the other guys, maybe Chad Gable, maybe Jason Jordan. I'm not sure. I mean, that's a great question. Maybe a few of the 205 Live guys. Maybe Kalisto. Maybe TJP. You know, a couple of those guys that just don't seem to be going anywhere right now, and it seems like WWE has nothing for them. Mike Bennett would be a guy I think I would send down to NXT for now, because they brought him onto the main roster. Maria got pregnant. Mike Bennett was having his own issues, his own problems, and he's trying to get clean and sober. He's been clean. So maybe let him have a fresh start in NXT and start to build him up again, and then re-debut him on the main roster 6 months to a year down the line. So I think Mike Bennett might actually be at the top of my list of guys that I think would be better off in NXT right now, so at least he could be doing something and rebuilding his character. That'll do it for this edition of NoDQ Video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend about NoDQ Video. Word of mouth goes a long way. Pick up a t-shirt at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search NoDQ or check out the link in the description box. You can get this shirt, the NoDQ Video t-shirt. We have 18 designs over there on Pro Wrestling Tees, so check it out. Support the site, and I will see you guys next time.